Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Dr. Powell Show. Today you're in for a treat because we have Miss Lorena Soto Bunker, who is a licensed marriage family therapist, joining us here at the Dr. Powell Show. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. Hello, I am Dr. Keisha Powell, CEO of Powell Therapy Solutions LLC, a licensed and certified autism specialist and a board certified sexologist. Here at Powell Therapy Solutions, we are redefining what supports should look like for teens and adults diagnosed with autism. Powell Therapy Solutions LLC offers more than therapy. We empower lives. Our program supports social development, sexual health education, executive functioning, trauma-informed care, and sexual abuse therapy trauma. Through telehealth, family collaboration, and professional training, we make care accessible, impactful, and community-driven. Real support, real growth, real inclusion. Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Dr. Powell Show. As promised, today we're going to talk about the commitment to the ring, expectations of getting engaged. We know that this is the time of season where you have a lot of people who are either getting engaged, getting married. And so we wanted to share and focus on some of the stressors that people may go through during this process. With us joining our show today is Miss Lorena Soto Bunker, who is a licensed marriage family therapist, CEO of Trauma to Thriving LLC. She's also a psychotherapist, but we will ask her to talk a little bit more about who she is, what you do. Welcome to the Dr. Powell Show. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Dr. Powell, for having me. I'm really excited to be here and to talk about this wedding season that's coming and all of these stressors. So my name is Lorena Soto Bunker, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I also hold a degree, a master's degree in education, a master's in education. And I dedicated the last 20 years of really working with the community and bringing a place that I can heal and also welcome our inner community, especially our less unfortunate. So what I like to do is in my facilities, in my wellness center, is not only do psychotherapy, as I specialize in couples and families, but I also have alternative coping mechanisms or alternative programs for therapy, such as yoga, intimate yoga, so 8 to 10 people on connecting with their body, their senses, right? I also offer dance skills for kids, because if they cannot speak, they can express themselves through music. And so we use it as a jump start to get them to talk. Why do you like that song? What does it say to you? Why does it speak to you? So that's a way that kids can then, express themselves. We also have art therapy for adults as well as for children. We also offer women's programs. We offer men's programs, groups, And yeah, so we're offering another program for dementia um, um, community that will
That's
be coming as
wonderful.
well, and we'll be offering monthly seminars to the community so that we can really start working with the dementia folks and how we can also help them as well. So it's a lot of alternative, but a lot of traditional as well. Yeah, and that's what I do.
Wow, that's amazing. I know that when I first learned about the services you offer, I was curious about the alternative therapy. So this is actually really wonderful. And for viewers out there, again, it's Trauma to Thriving LLC, and we'll talk more about this towards the end of the show. So let's get right into it. Commitment to the ring, expectations of getting engaged. I know people get really excited about getting engaged. And for me, even though my field is a bit different, I've often heard people asking questions like, well, I'd like to get married. What should I do? Or some people may just think about the ring 1st rather than the actual relationship. So, what are some emotional signs that a person is truly ready for engagement beyond wanting the ring or the proposal? How do they know that they're ready for engagement?
Yeah, so this is a funny question because yesterday I was talking to someone. I was married for 25 years. And when the first day that I saw my husband, I knew that I was going to marry him. I just knew it. The first day I got his phone number, we never stopped talking for 25 years after that.
Wow.
And I knew he was going to be the one that I was going to marry. And he also knew that it was me that he was going to marry me. And I think that the way that we just connected immediately from that day one, we started having heavy emotions at the day one, right? It was like, I don't even want to leave. I don't want to go home. I want to stay with you. So that was already feeling like looking for yes, the end goal of marriage and the ring, but that wasn't what I was looking for at that moment. I was just looking to make sure that this was the person that I wanted to be because of that feeling. So I think that once couples get together and they start talking about where they are in life, what stage they are in life, what goals they have already accomplished, what goals they still want to accomplish. And those are kind of the conversations you have in the beginning of your dates. And so in that conversation, you can already start saying, okay, is this a person that's compatible for me? Are we aligned with the same kind of goals? And I think that is what starts us off in a positive direction in being able to foresee marriage down the road.
I like how you say it being aligned to the same goals, because I've, again, been immersed where actually recently I remembered working on a few things during my Bible study, which is about becoming a godly wife. Which one of the things as a sexologist, I talk to people about abstinence and Christian work with Christian couples in how to identify before they get married. What are some of the characteristics that I'm looking for? How do I appreciate, just as you're saying? So it's interesting how you say align, which goes to how society and social media sees it. So how can societal and social media put pressure around the idea of the engagement ring and affect a person's mental health and self-worth?
Well, already, right? The society and TV and all of that out there is already telling us to go in a direction that we are not really used to going in, because for me, I came with my parents, they're still married. So I came in from, you stay with one partner, you work it out, you stay with them. So I personally brought that into my own life with my children to try to teach them, that marriage is not about the ring. Marriage is not about that big wedding. Marriage is a lot deeper. It is about being with someone that you respect, that you're going to grow together, that you're going to, right, be the yin and yang to each other. That if one falls, the other one picks up. I think that it can also confuse us because society is there and it is a new generation. And so now you see all of these different ways to get married. All of 50-50, no, 100, the wife stays, no, the wife works, everybody works, no, one stays, so, right? So it's all of these different ways that people can now really have marriage the way they want it. They can really have it the way they want it, but is it the way they want it going to get them the furthest, right? The furthest and the deepest connection with their partner. Because some of us get married just for the ring. We just want a nice little ring. We just want to say, we just want to experience it. And we're not looking really at the longevity of the marriage. We're just looking at, oh, well, society says we should get married and it should be 50-50, so let's do that.
That's something. So then we think about the financial strain and the anxieties that are now attached to becoming engaged and the pressure. So how can individuals manage feelings of guilt, inadequacy, or anxiety?
Yeah. So that's again with when you're able to connect, right, and be aligned with your partner, you're going to be able to talk about budgets and finances. And we're going to talk about who's going to be responsible for what, or if other people are even going to contribute. But I think that sometimes the men, right, they really struggle with it because society tells them that they are the man, that they are the providers. They are the ones that should be taking care of the house and taking care of their family. So men have a whole nother level of stress and pressure on them than a woman does when they're going to get married. The wife is like, well, my parents are going to pay for my wedding. The husband is like, I got to do something. I got to pay for it all. I'm not going to ask my parents because I'm a man. So, so in order to, again, to decrease the anxiety is really knowing that you have that safety, you feel comfortable being able to talk about finances because that is really hard. It's a really hard topic. Some men don't want to talk about finances because they really believe they're the provider and they don't need to disclose that. And that can cause issues too, because then the wife may want to say, well, I want to be involved. So it takes a lot of really negotiating, really negotiating or compromising between couples to get them to not be so stressed. When we start not talking to the person that we're supposed to be talking, that's where the stress comes. Because now we're talking to other people and we're coming home and we're not sharing it with our partners. And then we become stressful because we want to share it with our partners.
And so that causes another issue before the marriage.
Exactly.
Wow. How can couples redefine what commitment means to them in a way that it will support them emotionally and also help them to connect mentally?
Yes, absolutely. I really, 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 trauma to thriving to me is everyone has had trauma one way or another. So for couples, getting treatment, going to see a therapist, whether you go together or whether you go separately, it's just like a ground rule for me. Therapy will help you personally, and then it will help you to also be able to feel connected because you may not even know what's wrong with you. And my partner may not be able to figure it out. So let's go to the experts so that we can then say, I'm struggling with this. How can I share that outside of here so that we can work together?
I love that. So when I think about this, and this was one of the reasons I'm so happy that you're here, because so many viewers out there need to recognize that once you're entering into marriage, it's, as you said before, it's about the communication, it's about the commitment. It's much more than saying, wow, I have a ring, I'm going to get married, this is what my life will look like. When you take off all of that pomp and grandeur, then there's a whole different, and reality hits.
Right.
How can viewers reach out to you, during in terms of when I'm ready now to make the decision, how can viewers actually access your services so that this, I think it's very helpful for any couple who is going to get married to be able to access your services.
Absolutely. So you can reach me by my website, which is www.traumatothriving.net. And then you can also email me at traumatothriving at traumatothrivingllc@gmail.com. You can follow me on Facebook on my Trauma to Thriving page, and you can follow me on Instagram at my Trauma to Thriving page. So you can find me everywhere, everywhere.
That's good. Thank you again for being on the Dr. Powell Show. It is such an honor. I'm hoping that viewers will get something out of our episode today. Again, thank you so much. We want you to reach out to the Dr. Powell Show. Should you have any questions, email us at powelltherapysolutions@gmail.com. Don't forget to click the link and subscribe to see Community Voice channel on YouTube and also on Facebook.
Hello, I am Dr. Keisha Powell, CEO of Powell Therapy Solutions LLC, a licensed and certified autism specialist and a board certified sexologist. Here at Powell Therapy Solutions, we are redefining what supports should look like for teens and adults diagnosed with autism. Powell Therapy Solutions LLC offers more than therapy. We empower lives. Our program supports social development, sexual health education, executive functioning, trauma-informed care, and sexual abuse therapy trauma. Through telehealth, family collaboration, and professional training, we make care accessible, impactful, and community-driven. Real support, real growth, real inclusion.
To advertise on the Community Voice channel or to support the Community Voice channel, please go to givebutter.com/helpcvc. That's givebutter.com/helpcvc. Donate today.